Hello, listeners, and welcome back to another episode of Between Two Worlds. And this time, I am here back again with Charlene with Witchy Work Wishes. And we are gonna get a little bit tipsy today.
I am a full participant today.
Oh,
I'm
yeah.
here. I'm with
Yep.
you.
I don't know if I texted you or we just chatted about it, but I was like, you know what? We are going to get day drunk.
And we should probably let the listeners know why we encourage day drinking. And it is because you and I both go to bed so early.
We do.
So
Yes.
if I could have some fun and still like wrap it up and have a nighttime routine, I'm all in. I fully
Same.
support what's happening.
Even despite like my young age.
You are. Yeah. Should we tell the listeners the age gap is what, like 30 something years?
Yeah. But you can't tell. I mean, when we talk.
Um,
But that's what matters is like getting ready for bed, having your nighttime routine, and also I do not like going to sleep with alcohol on my breath. Like even though I might be sober, if I can taste it, I just don't sleep good.
that's
But
interesting.
that's
Okay.
not me being like, oh, I hate drinking. It's like, no, I'm down for drinking, but
I just need to wrap it up.
I want to wrap it up at a certain time so I can still enjoy my night.
Seriously, it's the night routines. I think you and I are both so heavily invested in the morning,
Yes.
and we both appreciate the lunar activity. And I like you. You astral travel. I don't want to give
Yeah.
you spoiler alerts, but I know you like doing stuff at
Yes.
night
Yes.
with your craft while you were asleep.
Exactly.
So I'm big on getting up early because that's when I am most productive. So
Mm-hmm.
whatever I can do to just embrace my nighttime routine so I can go to bed early. It means of course.
Yes, exactly.
So cheers.
Cheers.
To you.
Oh my gosh. Thank you. And thank you for being back on. I'm so excited because we're talking
What
about
do we? Yeah. What's
ghosts. We're talking about ghosties, spirits,
Mm-hmm.
paranormal activity,
Mm-hmm.
basically anything that has to do with that sort of realm. And we're going to talk about it. And because there are differences, right?
For sure.
Yeah,
I feel like we have to start with what happened last week.
we
Like,
absolutely do. Or was it this week?
oh my God, where
It was this week.
it was this week. Here I'm like last week. Well, it depends. When is this going to
It
air?
was this Monday. So this is coming out on Sunday. We're recording on Friday. And
Yep.
this happened for you, started last Sunday night, and Monday.
Okay, so for everybody listening, our stories intertwine. I can start it off with what happened to me on Sunday night, and I did not say anything to Annika. So when she came to me on Monday saying, "Hey, there's some fucking shit in your house," but
Yes.
we can swear.
Oh yeah,
Yeah,
fuck
okay.
yeah. All my stuff is explicit.
Every once in a while on my episodes, I'll be like,
Yeah, no, just for the off chance I say fuck like one too many times.
the whole
thing.
So the whole podcast.
The whole podcast is explicit.
Yeah,
So we can talk about anything.
So the fact that Annika came to me on Monday being like, girl, there's some fucking shit in your house. I was like, what? Like, oh, yes.
Yes.
Let me tell you what happened last night. Okay, so should I start it off?
You start off with, because let's do it sequentially.
Yes.
It started with you on Sunday.
It started with me on Sunday as I was getting ready for bed. Now, mind you, Wednesday was our full moon. It was our full February moon.
Yep.
And for me, that is very consistent historically with interactions that I have had in the past.
Yeah.
They're usually around a full moon. So we're coming up to it. The energy is already out there, right? So Sunday night, I'm in my normal nighttime routine, and I'm in bed. Lights aren't off yet. Like I usually, fortunately, scroll on social media.
Yeah,
I
do too.
So, okay. So, but I'm getting ready for bed, and all of a sudden, the most overwhelming feeling of a bad energy was in my room. Not in general, in a very specific spot. It was like it came through the window. It was in between where my TV is in my bedroom, which was not on, and the doorway into like my bathroom.
Yep.
So I knew exactly where it was. I knew exactly when I entered my room. I couldn't see it, but I felt it.
Yeah.
And it felt scary.
Yeah.
And I immediately said out loud, "You are not welcome here. You need to leave."
Yeah.
Done. And I was like, well, fuck. This is Sunday night. Here we are. But then, like, just, I got on my social media. I was scrolling through some stuff, and I didn't feel like anything bad. It certainly didn't respond to me. It didn't say, like, okay, I'm leaving.
But you felt like it might have respected you verbally saying, "Get the fuck out of my house."
I felt like it did. Like I felt like it was okay to go to sleep.
Yeah.
It didn't feel weird.
Which is honestly, I think is so important because I have had lots of experiences throughout my life and just have always been a little bit sensitive when it comes to those things.
Mm,
And so has my mom. It's definitely more on my maternal lineage when it comes to being more sensitive to the afterlife
yeah.
more than just ghosts in general
Yeah.
or spirits in general. But it is so important to verbally out loud say, "Get out," or "You're not welcome here."
Especially when you feel that strong of a presence, it is not good.
And it's natural to just, freeze up when you feel so scared. Like, we're human. What the fuck is like happening? Why
Yep.
am I experiencing this so not human thing?
Mm-hmm.
But you got to snap yourself out of it and you just got to say, "Get the fuck out."
You got to handle your
Yeah.
shit. You got to handle
Yeah.
your business. Well, in true form, I obviously went to sleep early. I felt like it
Mm-hmm.
was okay. But I got woken up at very specific times. The first one was, and I know it's going to sound silly for people listening, like, you woke up at 11:11. I'm like, I'm not even in bed.
Yeah.
I'm well into my bed and nighttime routine at, honestly, usually by 9:30.
Yeah.
So,
You're asleep or you're in bed?
I will fall asleep sometimes, honestly, by 9.
Yeah.
So that is, but I also get up at like anywhere between 4:30 and 5:30.
Right.
So it's sequentially even,
Mm-hmm.
So anyway, so I got woken up at 11:11, and I'm so mindful. I did a big series, or not series, episode on
Yep.
numerology. Like I love it, and I recognized it. I'm like, oh, that's freaking cool.
Yeah.
And I went back to sleep.
Yep.
And then I got woken up at 12:12. Again, I was like this is actually pretty cool. Like
Yeah.
what I thought was going to be kind of a crappy start to the night,
Right.
by this evil presence that I felt. Like this feels really cool.
So when you first woke up at 11:11, were you immediately like, "Oh shit," until you looked at the clock and you realized it was more of a good feeling?
Did not have no shit feeling at all.
Okay.
Literally woke up, looked to see what time it was, and I was like, okay, freaking cool.
Yeah.
11:11. Like love it.
Yeah.
Then again, so 12:12. 12:12, I couldn't fall back asleep. Like I
Yeah.
honestly got on social media again, don't go scrolling because I was like, oh, wait.
Yeah.
But went back to sleep. So it was somewhere after that I got woken up by the cats zipping around. And when I say zipping around, like just so you guys know, like I've got 3 cats, and one is old enough where she's in her own room, just because the younger ones tend to,
Yeah.
beat up on her. But just
Nature kind of takes its course.
exactly.
Yeah.
So she's in her own room. So the two, you guys know about Ragnar. If any of my listeners
Yes.
or yours, they know who Ragnar
Oh
is.
my god.
And
Everybody knows who Ragnar is. He's the star.
Should have his own little channel. But him and Knowles were playing so heavily somewhere after that 12:12 wake up that I was like, oh my God, Charlene, you got to get out of bed. Like they've got something. They've got him.
It was enough. You literally thought they are playing with something.
They are playing with something. And this is not normal. Like when it's time for bed, my cats are like, oh, hell yes, it's time for bed. They curl up. They're spooning with me. They're tucked in.
Yeah. They parallel your energy.
They absolutely do. There's no nighttime, middle of the night playtime.
Right.
So these guys were all over the place, chasing each other in, through the rooms, and you could hear. I've got all wood floors. You can hear it's like elephants sometimes when they're running, especially Ragnar.
Especially Ragnar when
he's got some weight to him.
He's got a little substantial.
So, but I was woken up and I was like, what? I was like, oh, Charlene, you gotta get out. Like they've got something.
Yeah.
And Ragnar is very reward driven. Like, mom, look what I got. He brings it up on the bed.
He's still got the very young.
He does.
Young energy, young mind.
Yes.
Yep.
Absolutely. They didn't catch anything. They were just very awake, very alert. There was some type of energy in the house that made them very, very playful. And I didn't really tie anything together. But it is what it is. I double checked. There's nothing. There was no mouse. So I went back to sleep, got up as normal, came into work on a Monday morning. Cue Hanukkah. Take it away, girl.
So, I don't think I've already explained this on the channel, but we also have a professional relationship. So I work for you. But so at one of our locations where I primarily work at, there's no indoor bathroom specifically in the office area.
Right.
And so I go into your residents into
Yeah.
the house, and I use the bathroom there when I need to.
Yeah.
And so I say hi to the kitties and to
There's a full
flowers. There's
routine.
full routine, full
Yeah.
everything. And so I got up to go to the bathroom. I think it was around 11 midday, which is funny because you said 11. And I'm like, that's the first time I went pee that day was 11, like around 11.
Dang, and you're a little water drinker.
I
You're
am. I've got a squirrel bladder.
like-
I do. No, literally.
Like, I'm Campbell-ish. Like I can go forever, and not even like legit. It doesn't. We don't.
Oh, I digress. But
Yeah.
yes, for the girls out there who have the UTI issues, the kidney issues, and the
Yes.
small bladders, I feel you. I'm like, warning, I pee like 10 times a day. But anyway,
It's the house.
so I was in the house and I was using the restroom, and it is what it is. Like, honestly, I'm that kind of person that I just leave the doors open.
Mhm.
No one's even in there anyway.
Nobody.
No one's in there.
Shuts the doors. The boys don't even shut the doors.
Exactly. So we're very low key like that. And I was sitting there, and all of a sudden, I heard like a clunk. It honestly sounded like something had fallen.
Yeah.
And I know your house pretty well enough to where I'm like,
Yeah.
something is out of place
Yes.
if I see something out of place.
For sure.
So I was like, that's a little bit weird. I remember even saying out loud, like, that's a little weird. And it didn't sound like Ragnar, because Ragnar
You
makes
know that's fine.
he makes a noise when he comes out from the bed.
Presents it is.
It's a presence. But it wasn't Ragnar. And so got up, washed my hands, did my thing, and I walked around. I physically walked around to check. Did anything fall? No. Okay.
Well, that's legit. That's
Yeah.
normal human.
Exactly. I checked on
response.
Cookie. She's the one in the other room. And I was like, okay, did she knock anything over? No, everything was fine. I was like, okay, that was a little bit weird. And so a couple hours pass, and I think it was like 2:33. I go in there again, and this time I heard footsteps. Not only heard, but I felt them exactly in the spot where we later found out, and I told you about this. It was in the same exact spot where you felt that presence.
Yeah.
It was between that window, your bed, and the TV. And it was the weight of the footsteps, but not the weight of a person.
Yeah.
And it literally made my heart kind of flutter. And I was like, trying to recognize the fear response, what kind of spirit, like what is happening? What am I
Yeah.
what am I internally feeling? What can I read from this? And yeah, it was, I'm not gonna say it was bad,
No.
but it wasn't, I wasn't like, oh, something's here to play.
No. So Alnica reaches out. So we have, if anybody else has like Microsoft Teams. So we're on Teams.
Mhm.
That is how the office communicates in the different locations.
Yes.
So Annika gets on Teams and messages me, basically saying, "Girl, there is a spirit in your house." I was like, "Are you even fucking kidding me?" Like, yes, let me tell you, yes, there is.
Yes.
This is what
Like
happened.
I felt something.
Like, yeah, this is what happened last night. We started comparing notes, and we were like, "Oh shit. Like, this is like legit, this is happening." Not that I didn't know it, I didn't need validation. You didn't need validation.
Mhm.
But when we combined stories, it started laying out what was being told.
Exactly what was being told. So, and that was just on Monday.
This Sunday
This
night,
was
Monday
literally happened to me Monday afternoon, happened to you Sunday morning,
night.
and then you have another call for Monday night.
And this wrapped it up. After this, nothing. I haven't felt anything. So it is Friday. So all of this happened Sunday night with you on Monday, and then I came home, and I come home later. You've already left the office.
Yes.
So I come home and do my normal home routine.
Mm-hmm.
Get ready for bed. I'm in bed early, and as I was in bed, again, lights weren't. No, actually, no, that's not true. Lights were off. I lit a candle again because you told me what had happened, and I lit the candle, and I basically did just a little incantation, something like, "Hey, only good energy is welcome here.
Yeah.
Like we're
No nasties.
I'm not playing this game right now. I don't have the time nor the effort or the energy
Mhm.
to engage in anything negative right now. Like
Yeah.
it just has to be the only thing that's allowed in this house is good energy."
Yes.
I lit the candle, and I knew damn well I wasn't gonna blow it out.
Yeah.
That candle was going all the way down.
Yep.
No, it wasn't a full taper candle.
Okay.
Like I didn't start from putting a
From the
brand new
very-
taper
yeah.
on. It's one that I use for more of like I'm thankful for. Just like a quick little
Exactly.
and you're done. But I knew based off of what I was saying, if it went till 3 a.m., it would have been like it was safe, it was okay as long as Ragnar didn't brush up against. Ragnar's a little fluffy, so he can combust at any time.
He can.
So candles are a little iffy around him, but so I did light my candle. So at some point though, I'm in bed. Of course, Ragnar's right with me. He starts looking up to the ceiling. And I was like, boo,
What
what
are
are
you
you
looking
looking
at?
what are we looking at?
Yeah.
I am a full believer that cats see things that we cannot see.
Yeah, absolutely.
They definitely feel presences. Now, I think we can feel a presence. There's a lot of, if we get into all the clear whatevers,
Mm-hmm.
um, we can see things, we can hear things, we can feel things, we can smell things, all that
Yes.
stuff. But cats are on a different level.
They truly, truly are. And we've talked about this
We
before.
have,
Like we connect on the same level when it comes to, I know we talked about it with the crows and the ravens and the cats. It's like,
mhm.
for me, I always picture whenever a crow I feel is looking at me or when a cat's looking at me, I'm like, I already know they're seeing my energy, my aura. They're seeing a different playing field than we are physically here.
And those, they can make their judgment call
Exactly.
immediately. Are you an okay person for me to approach?
Hmm.
I do think there are some animal stories that you'll see where, somebody's like, oh my God, I hate cats. So the cat's all over them. They probably don't actually hate cats, or they think
Hmm.
they do. You know
Right.
what I mean? But their aura is good, and it draws the cat to them. So,
Exactly.
so they know. Crows know when
Absolutely.
somebody's an asshole or somebody they should not approach. They see it.
Yes,
They see.
they do. Crows are just cats with wings.
That's right.
They are.
You are
They
right.
really are. They
They're
have the
legit.
same energy, just a different
It's
body.
just a
Exactly.
so I'm in bed, and Ragnar is right next to me, and he is looking up right at the ceiling, right above my bed.
Yeah.
Now, of course, the first thing I'm going to think about is there's a moth, there's a bug,
Yeah,
there's
there's a
something
bug.
they're
It's
attracting
good
with
to be
their
a skeptical witch. You obviously take the material and the mundane first,
too.
and then we can eliminate.
It is what it is.
Yes.
Like, well, it's just called, that's it, right? So you look for that. And I was like, huh, yeah, there's nothing in this room. There's no, and I have good eyesight. I'm not like
Yes.
half blind or anything. Like there's nothing in this room. So I honestly, Annika, I grabbed my phone, and just so you guys know, I sent her this video.
Yes. Literally, I think it was like at 9:30 at night.
So yeah,
Because I know you were asleep. It was a little bit later, and I know you go to sleep early. And I
do.
saw you texted me, or maybe it was like just before 9. I was like,
Mhm.
whoa, Charlene should be asleep. I was like, what is going on?
Now we got activity again.
Now we have activity.
And consistent with what happened the night before for me, consistent with what happened with you during the day. And here I am Monday night, full moon's about to happen on Wednesday
Yep.
morning. We're within, a little over 24 hours of like the ultimate activity for full moon.
Yep.
So I honestly got my phone. I started recording it.
Mm-hmm.
I was like, that's it. Let's see, Ragnar. I didn't
And
say
he really
anything.
was. He was so curious.
And again, I didn't feel anything bad.
Right.
But in all honesty, I wasn't picking up any energy. It wasn't like that initial juice. Like
I know you're here.
I know you're here, and you are not good. I didn't get somebody's here, but they're friendly. It was just I didn't have anything, so I was really working with his energy.
So, are you going to post that video?
Should I?
I think you should.
You want me to?
I think you should. If you could post that on your Patreon.
Okay, I will.
Maybe on the free tier, just so my listeners
we
can
don't
go
know.
over it
Fair
and
enough.
connect
Yeah.
and picture what's happening.
They can see Ragnar.
They can see Ragnar physically looking at this. And honestly, I'd like to hear what other people think
What
about
do they think?
when even babies and cats, when they look around the room and they see
Kids and stuff.
Oh yeah, my little brother. Oh gosh, we'll get into it, but yeah.
Yeah. Okay, so I just recorded Ragnar, and I didn't say anything, but I just recorded him, and I watched him track this spirit that was above my bed.
He did. I like that you said the word track because that's exactly what he looked like he was doing.
Watched it, and he wasn't afraid. And you guys know the lizard skull. Like when you see your cat, it's obvious when they are afraid of something.
Yes.
And Ragnar wasn't.
Yeah.
So I wasn't. I mirrored his energy. I went to bed. And I let the candle stay, which I said what I needed to say. Like, hey, you got another night here. Only good stuff is welcome. I'll tell you my interpretation of it.
Yes. What do you think it was by the end of all this?
Yeah, you don't get it like right away.
Right.
You gotta
marinate it, right? And then you gotta reflect on it and process it. Take into account all your past experiences. Mm-hmm. So what, as of now, do you think that was?
So my end result, just mind you, that was it. Yeah. After Monday night, I didn't have anything. Tuesday night, Wednesday night, I haven't had anything since then.
It's now Friday.
And now it's Friday. So my resolution with that is that something did come in. Mm-hmm. I have no doubt what I felt on that initial entry. I think something else came in to protect me. Yeah. I think something else was like, get the fuck out. Not here, not today.
Like, you heard her.
Yeah. Goodbye.
Bye.
Bye-bye. Because, and I think that other entity, that other spirit, whatever we're going to call it, basically woke me up at 11:11 and 12:12 to tell me, girl, I got you. I'm here and I got this. Those are good numbers. Those are good repeating, energetic numbers. And it was their way of telling me, I know, I saw what happened and I'm here. And it was a very happy, playful energy that the cats picked up on because they normally do not play during the night.
Right.
And it got them buzzed up. They were sitting around the house. They were playing.
Like, it wasn't just nighttime zoomies. They were literally playing.
They were literally playing. Yeah. Like, whatever it was good energy. And I don't know that it was like maybe spirit animal energy. Yeah, I'm so heavily tied to that stuff. I don't know if it was actual person's energy. It could have been that cat again, right? That came in to guard over everybody. And
do you feel like it was specifically an animal energy? Or do you... Well, that's so interesting. Are you close with your spirit guides? Have you like done any recognition with your, if you know, specific family members or anything or like that around you?
I have not. I can tell you in general, I am so closely tied to the energy of animals.
Absolutely.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Yeah, so I don't know the answer to that, but I don't know if maybe the spirit brought an animal in with them and the cats picked up on that, or maybe the energy of the spirit was just playful, but that was our recent, like, just happened.
So I can tell you what came to my brain
Okay,
when
what?
you told me you felt it was an animal.
Uh-huh.
Because the fear that you explained to me that you had, to me, paralleled that same experience you had when you had that vision of something over your house. And that is the time where you explained on your podcast you had that tomcat.
Showed up.
It
has not showed up since.
Exactly. So my brain was like, oh shit, Tomcat's dead, but he came back to protect Charlene from that same energy, from that same spirit.
Interesting. Okay.
I don't know if that's true, but that was my immediate, that would seem
consistent. Interesting, Monica. That's interesting.
And it's not like you're not going to have experiences in this house because it's so freaking old.
This is an old, yeah. For the listeners, if they don't know from my podcast, this is a 1930s farmhouse. With the original hardwood floors.
Yes.
So the footprints that have stepped on this wood for the last 100 years, they're here.
They are.
They're
walls. Like, I'm such a big believer in, not even believer, like, I know that places like walls and floors, especially when it's original wood, it holds energy because it retains everything. One of the most haunted houses I've lived in was a 1920s Victorian home, originally built in downtown Santa Barbara, off of, like, if you know Santa Barbara County, it's a road called like Patagrosa, and it's by the Mission. No, it was the most fucking sketchiest house ever. Okay. Yeah, so there was lots of orbs. I've showed out that house. I had, like, Coraline the movie. Maybe not. No. But it's like a claymation Tim Burton movie. But basically, this little girl like goes through a miniature door in her really old Victorian home, and it takes her to a parallel universe. Right. And it's kind of like a creepy movie, but it's for kids. But I literally had that behind my bed in my friggin' room.
It's like the Lion. So my favorite book growing up was The Lion, the Witch, and the Wardrobe.
Yes.
It's like that. You go into
exactly. It was like a freaking portal. So that's the recent shit that happened.
Okay, so if we're talking about spirits, like, that just happened.
That is the most recent thing that has happened.
I can tell you a cool one that happened to me. Yeah, the boys from home.
Wait, just recently?
Yes.
Oh yeah.
Recently. And it's super. I mean, it's not a big story, but again, back to the cats. I go to bed early, so the boys were home for Christmas, and Taylor was in the living room on Xbox with his headset on, and talking. Connor was in his room on his headset, doing his stuff. So, but I could hear Taylor talking,
Yes.
So he playing Xbox with somebody back in Chicago, somebody back in Germany. Like, he's got his little
his whole crew.
The crew was on.
Yeah.
So in my room, nothing that was alarming, but there was definitely a spirit in my room. and I watched both. No, Noodles was out with Taylor.
Mhm.
Ragnar, my cat, Ragnar was in with me on the bed. Shocking.
Yeah, shocking.
And
He's like obsessed with you.
so-
He's like he could fuse with your body if he could. Like
if
you
he
definitely
could,
would.
he would. Oh, but Noodles was out with Taylor
Yeah.
in the living room. So this spirit came in my room. Again, I was already in bed, doing some social media type stuff. And I watched Ragnar track it.
Mhm.
And it left my room and went into the living room. And literally within seconds, Annika, Taylor on his headset was telling his Xbox friend that he was playing the game with, he was like, oh shit, something just came in this room. I'm literally watching the cat track it.
Yeah. Like there's a ghost right
There's
here.
a ghost, there's a spirit there that
Yeah.
is in the room right now. And he's like, oh, that is pretty, like, I literally heard him say, that is
So
pretty cool.
nonchalantly. Oh, hey, that's pretty cool. Ragnar's staring at a ghost right now.
Yeah, but it was Noodles. He
Oh,
had
it was Noodles. Yeah, it was
so
Noodles looking at
Ragnar
it.
was in the thing, but I literally watched Ragnar.
Crazy.
So it left my bedroom,
Yep.
and the next room over in the house is the living room. I watched Ragnar watch it go through the walls. It went into the living
And then
room.
Noodles picked it up.
Noodles picked it up, and Taylor recognized it and said, "Oh shit, there's a spirit in here right now. I'm watching the cat track it."
And you hear Taylor saying this as soon as you just got done watching
And I didn't
Ragnar.
validate him. I
Yeah.
didn't go in there and be like, "Dude,
Yeah.
or did you?" I just
It happened within seconds of each other.
It happened. It
Yeah.
literally happened that fast, and I just was in bed. And I just started smiling. I was like, "Kid, good for you.
Yeah,
For
good for
recognizing
you.
it. Good
Yep.
for you for recognizing it and seeing it and not even being." He wasn't freaked out. He was like, "Yeah, pretty cool." Told all of his friends on Xbox
Yep.
that he was playing the game with, and I was like,
Oh.
that warmed my heart. That
Yeah,
made me
it
feel
did. I definitely feel, I don't know, I feel like living without these experiences would feel a little bit empty. Even though, I mean, like I've told you, I've experienced quite a lot. And my older brother, not everyone in my family is sensitive to it, but I remember my older brother had an ex-girlfriend of a long time, and she was also very sensitive to it. And we would kind of talk about stories every once in a while. And I remember on a road trip out to San Francisco, we were sharing ghost stories because Isaiah was like, "Oh my gosh, like let's talk about something fun. Like
yes. Let's make this
yeah,
trip fun.
let's
Yeah.
make this trip fun. Let's talk about ghost stories." And Danielle and I were just talking about real experiences. And at a point, Isaiah was like, "Man, like I wish I could freaking I wish I could be like you guys and like see that stuff and feel that stuff." And immediately we're like, "No, you do not." Like I want to say I don't take it for granted because it's a burden and it's not at the same time.
I know.
How do you feel about that?
You know,
Like having those experiences. Do you wish you were not sensitive? Do you like that you're sensitive to it?
I can say as a kid, it really scared me.
Yeah.
It really, really did. And that's just not having the power of understanding it, right? There's a
Mhm.
lot of just comfort level that comes with aging. You just become more resolved and more understanding of life experiences. As a kid, like when I say kid, I'm like
Yeah.
little. It's really scary,
Yeah.
especially depending on what your upbringing is. And we didn't I don't remember getting taught necessarily that ghosts were bad or spirits were bad or whatever we want to call it. But I remember being afraid.
Did your parents ever tell you like it's not real?
I don't remember honestly ever. No, my mom says I did, but I don't remember engaging them with what I was seeing. I think I told them a bunch that I was really afraid to go to sleep
Yeah.
because at night is when I saw them.
Yeah.
And I remember them distinctly, like going. It was just like this carousel of revolving images constantly going from my brother's room to my parents' room that I could see in my, through my doorway.
Mhm.
And it was a race to go to sleep basically
Yeah.
for me when I was little. And it was, if I was also constantly worried, and I don't know where it had to come from a previous life or something, but I was constantly worried of who is awake and protecting the house.
Yeah.
If everybody's asleep, who's on guard? And that is exhausting as a child.
That is so interesting. That is such a primal fear.
It's primal, Annika.
That is such a primal fear. You know, one person takes
Who's
watch,
who's on
basically.
watch?
Who's on watch? And for you to feel that and think that at such a young age is so interesting to me.
Something had to happen
Something had to have
to
happened.
trigger that
Mhm.
previously because
For you to carry it.
for me to carry it forward.
For
It
you
was
to carry
enough
it
to
forward.
trigger,
Yeah.
yeah, for me to carry it forward.
So
So
something must have happened
yeah,
where that'd be interesting to do a past life regression. It'd be intense, but
right?
to go back and experience or see where that first came from. Because
I
you could have
can.
had a traumatic experience when everyone was down and someone was supposed to be up.
That's it. That's it. And I can say I have carried that forward into my mothering
Mm,
as far as being a parent
yep.
and raising two strong young men.
Yeah.
I think I have heavily encouraged the protective aspect with both of them
Yeah, for sure.
on
I mean, I
a
barely know your boys, and the
you already
first
know.
thing you know about those two is they're highly protective.
They're highly protected.
Yeah.
Like that matters to me. And it could very well be from something in a past life that got dropped. I had no religious upbringing at all. And I don't really remember talking about. I'm sure my mom says I talked about the spirits. I just don't remember talking about it when I was little.
Interesting.
But I saw them.
Do you remember how old you were? Like around probably maybe
Hold on,
4 or 5?
no, we're little.
Littler than
We
that?
first moved to Santa Barbara. Yeah,
Two or
it would be.
three?
No, I moved there. I think I moved when I was like 3 years. So little.
Yeah.
It's little. It's just horrible to admit, but when I was little, I was so afraid to go to sleep every single night that I finally had to convince myself, like, Charlene, if you die, you die. Just, I was so exhausted. Can you imagine as a child?
That's insane. I just did an episode on death and accepting death and how I
Yes.
think it's so important for everyone, but also witches to
Mm-hmm.
come to terms that death is a part of life. And it's nothing to be afraid of. You know, personally, I've just lost like 3 major people in my life this past year. And before that, I just remember, yeah, exactly. Before that, all I experienced was just like my uncle's death.
Yeah.
But I was really little for that. And even then, it was something that I just, for some reason, already knew they're just in a different place. That's it. Like it's nothing's really different. It's just
Their energy is still
the
there. It's like
physicality of them being here
the
is
physical body.
what's gone.
Yeah.
And maybe that's because I've always kind of been connected to more than just the physical realm. So it feels more tangible to me to understand that they're in a spiritual realm.
Can I tell your listeners, like this girl might be in her 20s. Like she's like 24 going on 54.
Yeah, going on
You
54.
friends.
Yeah, we say it all the time. I hope this is my last one. It's better be my last
Wrap
round.
it up. Let's wrap
What am I here to do?
What do I have to do to wrap it up? You are an old soul.
Oh my gosh. Wow. So being that young and you having to come to terms with accepting your own death.
Night, and again, that could obviously there's nothing happened in my young early life that would trigger that I know of that would trigger that type of response.
Yeah.
It was, but that was it. I night after night I said it. Oh, to show you, I just want to go to sleep. I stayed awake for so long. I held out as long as I could because nobody was up. Nobody had their shift on. Nobody was standing guard. So I felt like I had to, and I had to stay awake. And I was like, if I die, I die.
Do you remember your first ghost experience? Or just remember seeing those spirits flying around?
For me, it was visual.
Yeah.
So if we want to talk about all the Claire, whatever, for me, it was very, very visual as a kid.
Yeah.
It wasn't, I had a lot of dream stuff. I had a lot of recurring dreams. I can tell you my 2 main recurring dreams to date. That's how often they happen. And it was so frustrating because I knew I was dreaming and I couldn't stop it from happening. So a lot of stuff with nighttime activity.
That's the worst. I remember
That is the worst.
I had a bout of nightmares too, and that's actually when my dad introduced me to lucid dreaming because I was little. I was probably around 6 or 7, and
Hey, Pedro.
I was no right. I was actually afraid. I was afraid of dying instead of accepting where I was dying. Now it's completely opposite. But I've done that work. But I was so afraid of dying when I was little, and I would have these recurring nightmares where I think I would die. And my dad said, "You can control your dreams," And I was like, "What?" And immediately my eyes like, what? He was like, "Yeah, you can dream of anything you want. Just do this." And he literally explained to me how to lucid dream. And I don't think he knew exactly what he was doing. But that's probably why I've been freaking astral traveling for so long. But it was him saying, "I don't want you to be afraid of your own dreams because you can learn to control them.
You have the power.
You have the power."
Girl, that is so empowering.
Right? So.
Good for you.
I know. I was like, "Thanks, Dad."
Yeah, as far as when did it start? It was all visual for me. At the beginning, it was all visual. I didn't recognize.
Yeah.
Now knowing the different, ways that spirits can communicate with us, what I remember being little is the visually seeing that.
To this day, do you still remember what they looked like?
Oh, I can close my eyes. So, okay, so you want another story?
Yes. This whole podcast is like stories. We're sharing stories.
You might have to break it into two.
I
We
will.
keep chatting. Okay, so I'll tell you a I'll tell you a full circle story, and it has to do with the fear of the visual when I was little,
Mm-hmm.
and then choosing, like honest to God, like choosing to not be afraid as an adult. And it goes back to, gosh, I don't even, 3 years ago, maybe, yeah, 3 years ish. Anyways, okay, so I was visiting my older son back in Chicago.
Yes.
And I landed at the O'Hare Airport. He picked me up, and he had a roommate on campus, housing. So I got a hotel.
Yes.
He drove me to the hotel. We pulled up, and Taylor, like he's both my boys are ride or die boys. Like they have my back. He didn't even question what came out of my mouth when we
Mm-hmm.
pulled up to that hotel. But we pulled up. He picked me up at the airport. We pulled up to the hotel, and so we pull up to the hotel, and I don't even get out of the car. Like we literally are right there. We would get out for concierge service to get your bags and all that. And I'm like, I do not have a good feeling. Something bad is about to happen. And Taylor's like, fuck it, let's go find it. Like he's like, I believe you.
Yeah.
I hear you, and we are gonna go get a different hotel.
Yes, we will.
And I was like, oh my gosh, like it was like it was already late at night. I was like, oh, I'm like, nah, forget it. I'm just gonna go in. He's like, fuck it, let's go. No. I'm like, no, it's
You're like,
fine.
I hear your enthusiasm.
Thank you.
But
Thank you for having my back.
I'm gonna weigh the pros and cons here. I really just want a bed more than anything.
Yeah, I just want to go to sleep. And it was a full moon weekend. I was flying out for one of his.
Of course
Of course it was.
Of course it was.
It was all full moon for me. I was flying out for one of it, chatting
Seriously.
McChatba.
I wonder where he is.
divert real fast?
Yes.
So, you guys, can you hear him? Hopefully that mic picks it up. Anyways, okay, so
yeah, hopefully.
We have. Okay, so I had crows that were like my flock at the previous place.
That was your family.
That was my family.
Because they were a family.
They were a family.
And they were like,
Charlene, you were my pod. So I certainly want the same connection here at this place, but like it takes time.
It's a different location. It's like, yeah.
And they have to choose you. Like they can't just be like, be my friend.
Exactly.
They have to be like, girl, we want a relationship. So if you can hear Chatty McChat, but in the back.
The back. Are you tipsy yet? This is a tipsy ghost story. I am about a sip left on my whiskey highball. What are you drinking?
Okay, so I'm drinking wine.
Yeah. I mean, that's totally fine.
Wine
I'm all about
lane.
You like your lane, stay your lane. That's how I am. Like, I've never given into peer pressure. You just respect people for what they love.
This is it.
Let's make it work.
Okay, so I had these grand ideas. So we got this pair, clearly, right? So this pair came in, they are attached to us, they come every morning. I was like, okay, we got chosen. Thank you. Thank you for choosing me again and giving me an opportunity to.
They take the peanuts, they take the cat food.
Let's call it what it is. We're not like blindly being chosen.
Yeah, we're not just gonna be like, come here and land on my hand.
So in my mind, I was like, okay, I'm gonna come up with these like great Norse names. I'm gonna put energy into it. And Chatty McChatbutt is just like we're right now.
He's chatting right now.
Chatting right now. Chat. Problem with saying something like that, like giving it even if it's a temporary name, you say it enough.
It sticks.
Now we're done.
Yeah.
Now
it's Chatty McChatbutt. We call him Chad. And he has a girlfriend. He has his mate.
He does. And Chelsea, don't get mad at us.
If you're listening to this, Chelsea, Witchy Stitching, I hope so too. I don't think she's listened to my episodes yet.
No, okay, so I will tag her in.
Yes.
So Chelsea, if you were listening, we love your name. We love the name Chelsea, and it seemed to be like the right name for Chad's mate. So it's Chad.
It's Chad and Chelsea.
And you guys hear them. We know.
Yeah.
We know.
This is their territory.
Hear them every morning.
Yes.
Yeah. Well, maybe not morning, but at night for sure. No, they're here at night.
They're here throughout the morning.
They're morning.
Morning and day.
They are.
That's the thing is, one time I went out there and I did peanuts. You're like, here, go out to the street, right?
Yes,
And we did the
yes.
peanuts. And he was on the telephone pole across the street and he immediately
He flew right.
flew right in.
Like that is when you okay, so did you see the post I did last weekend? Like we are
Yes,
so far
of
into
the fight with the
spirits right
fire
now.
pit. And
On
it's okay.
okay. So yeah, so I did a post last weekend. So we've got the food out front, and I went in the back just to do a fire pit.
Because you have like a courtyard, just so the listeners know,
Yeah.
there's like a courtyard in the front.
Yeah.
So they have access to come and eat.
For sure.
Yeah.
And they have a water source too.
Yeah.
They have fresh water out for them. I mean, it's for the dog, but
Yeah,
it's
well,
for the
birds come and get it too. Yeah.
So I put fresh food. There's like cat food. There's stuff out. There's my offerings for the crows.
Good shit too.
Like good.
Like good shit.
That's good shit.
Yeah.
I was in the back doing my fire pit stuff. They both came in the back, and that's where I knew. Like that's what my love bug used to do at my other location.
Old love bug.
He wasn't there for food. He was there for me.
Yes.
These two came in the back. There was plenty of food out front, and that's where I was like, "Wait, am I supposed to be doing something back here?" Like I was like kind of like casually doing a fire pit. I wasn't like thinking I was gonna do any magic or any rituals, and I was like, "Okay, like okay, I hear you." And when I say they were in the back, they were being chatty in the back.
Yeah,
chatting,
and that's what he does. He just he picks his. There's like 3 spots. He's right there, actually on the telephone pole. So he watches us come out and put the food.
Yeah.
He sometimes just doesn't give a fuck. And it's not about the food. He's up there and he's on his watch. And he's just chatting away.
Like Jon Snow.
Literally.
Oh my god, I totally forgot what we were talking about. We just went on some major tangents. And your listeners are like, girls, reel it
the hotel experience.
Yeah, there we go. Girl.
Yes.
Done. Girl. So back at the hotel.
Yes.
It was one of Taylor's football games, so I was flying back to watch him play at his college. I knew it was a full moon, so I brought some crystals because I wanted to recognize.
Was it storming that weekend too? I think it was.
Also a stormy weekend. What? Good for you.
Yes.
So anyway, so I get in, I check into the hotel, and I'm like I'm just, I have the feeling. I know something's about to go down. Like everything's telling me, be ready. And nothing happened. I was like, I'm off. Nothing happened that night.
I hate that shit because that's the stuff that like makes you think not to believe your gut. And then you should have just believed your gut anyways because it hits you later.
It still happened, yeah. But that night it didn't. Okay. So whatever the initial thing was, it seemed like a false alarm.
Okay.
So that was like a Friday night. His game was on Saturday.
Okay.
I went to his game, and mind you, like I want to self-medicate on full moons because I feel like that dulls not self-medicate, but like drinking wine.
Yeah, exactly.
Anything to dull the senses.
You want to be sharp.
Present. I do. I want to be present. So it wasn't, so what happened next, I was very present. So I was at his football game. We didn't go out afterwards. It was a night game. So by the time I got back to the hotel and had my shower, got my jammies, got in bed, there was no self-medication. There was no wine. There was nothing in my system. I went to bed just raw. Right? Yeah. And then in the middle of the night, and I know where they came in from. I know it was through the mirror. I can instantly get back into that moment. So middle of the night in the hotel, these spirits were floating around, and they were the same spirits that I saw when I was
like visually.
Visually, I saw them. My eyes are open. It's not my eyes are closed. Like my eyes are open. I can see the clock. I know what time it is. I see them swirling around the ceiling, right? Mm-hmm. It's hard not to default to your initial core response, right? And that is to be afraid. Because that's what I did as a child.
Yep. Especially with something so similar.
Very similar. But I was like, no, I know enough. It's hard to break the patterns.
Yes. Yeah.
It is a very conscious decision, though.
It is.
And I remember being in that hotel room, looking up and being like, I am not afraid. And I, honest to God, wasn't.
Yeah.
That initial response.
It's almost like you had to tell your inner child that.
It's okay. You are okay. You are safe. It was such a beautiful experience because I chose a different path this time.
You did.
And I, at one point, even reached my hand out to touch. I don't remember feeling anything, but they were right there. Like everything was okay. And at some point they left
Mhm.
and I went back to sleep. But I felt so honored to have taken away such a different feeling from what my childhood memories were consumed of.
Yeah.
So,
Do you think maybe the fear of them that you had as a child was purely because, I mean, obviously as children we don't know as much,
yeah,
and what we don't know we are afraid of.
naturally.
Do you think you just kind of had to wake up your own inner child and say like we know more of what these things are and they really aren't anything to be afraid of?
Yes. So
Yeah.
yes, to answer your question, I would say yes. It really goes back to education, right? So
Yeah.
if it's a field you're
Knowledge is
interested
power.
in, knowledge it is,
Mhm.
and you are naturally going to be afraid of something maybe you don't understand.
Exactly.
So I have put in since 2021, right?
Hmm.
I put in a lot of energy and effort into understanding more. It was for me, a very clear break in the road reality
It was a
check.
tower moment.
We had a tower moment in
Yes.
2021,
Yeah.
and I chose. I'm not gonna say I didn't get knocked down. Like it was a little iffy whether
Yeah.
I was gonna get back up or not, but I did.
That's how you know
And
you hit rock bottom.
seriously,
That is how you know when you
beautiful
hit
word,
rock
rock bottom,
bottom. If you don't know you're gonna get back up and there's a scary moment, that's how you know you're at your worst.
and I had it.
Yep. And look,
I did,
yep.
and that's what I chose.
Yeah.
And interestingly enough, if we talk about like familiars and stuff, people he feels like a person to me, but he's not.
That's how I feel about my animals.
So, like, it was at the end of 2021 is when the beginning of 2021 was my tower. The end of 2021, I hit rock bottom. And basically early 2022 is when I chose to live
Yeah.
again. And
Yeah.
I chose it with a very specific path,
Hmm.
including Witchy Work Wishes.
Yes.
And Ragnar came to me about a month later.
Yep.
He was like, okay, you're gonna live. I got you, girl.
Yeah.
But I think he came into my life for a reason.
He did. I'm curious to ask you,
Yeah.
do you think that witches specifically have a special connection to the spirit realm?
Ooh, do witches specifically have a connection to the spirit realm? I think in our practices, it's a language that is just talked about. So if we just focus on that, the fact that it is given energy to makes it more realistic and it makes it more accessible.
Mm,
In that, I think everybody has access to spirit stuff, to spirit interactions, whatever level it's going to be.
absolutely. I
See them,
agree.
hear them, feel them, smell, whatever it is. It is a muscle that needs to be trained.
Exactly.
So
Just like
I,
really anything else in the
with
craft.
anything.
Yeah.
So and what you give power to becomes more real overall. So I think in our practices, we talk about this stuff. Hey, did you get any feelings this last, full moon? Did you, it just
Yeah.
it's more common to hear people discuss it, which validates it,
Hmm.
which gives it power, which makes it more okay for us to be like, God, fuck, I saw something that, or I felt something, or I smelled smoke, and there was no smoke around me, and I know that's one,
Exactly.
I know that's one of the signs,
Yes.
or
Yeah.
whatever it is. It makes it an okay environment to have these little. I think I got something, or I think
Exactly.
So yes,
That's a good point. I mean, I feel like I could agree where almost as witches entirely, it's kind of our job to be in tune with energies.
we put more effort
We
to.
put more effort
Yeah,
into it. We
yeah.
we work with energies. I mean, that's kind of the whole
Mm-hmm.
fucking point.
It is a little one, yeah.
So to not pay attention to also that side of things, I think I would question why not.
Yeah. I think there's going to be a lot of elements that could lead people to never experience something. Certainly religious upbringing. If you are told anything in this realm is bad, you will probably shut off any associations with it.
Or if you experience it, it's immediately the devil.
Seriously, right? That's
Yeah,
true. That is
it is. Yeah, it is.
you're just gonna shut off your acknowledgement of it. So
Exactly.
I think we're just the opposite.
Which is so interesting you bring up the religious thing. So I
Yeah.
have a few stories when it comes to, so my nana is very religious. I
Yes.
definitely gave some stories when it comes to that in my intro. And I did live with her for a little bit after moving out from my dad's house and blah blah blah. But her house that she lives at now is very fucking haunted. Very fucking haunted. So I just
Have you shared the stories yet with your
I haven't at all. And I have so many. I know there's a lot.
Like,
So
okay.
my Nana is very religious. She is
She is.
very Christian. She's been Christian for a very long time. However, she
Mhm.
has had lots of experiences and she does not deny them. She herself has had experiences where she believes she saw a demon. She's experienced angelic energies, like physical angels coming down in human form when she traveled out to Jerusalem.
So like seeing them or feeling them?
Both.
Yeah.
Both. So
But she
I'm just gonna keep it short because obviously it's not my story, but I've had
Yeah.
her tell me. But she lived in Jerusalem for a little while, and there was a moment where she decided it was a very like self journey. She was there by herself. She lived there all on her own. She was learning the language, everything. So this was kind of her self finding soul journey. And
her though.
oh, right?
How empowering as a woman.
It was.
Be like,
She does have
ready-
some, yeah, she has some nice stories
Okay.
that came from that. But anyway, so she did the entire thing of, I don't know what it's called, so forgive me, but
Yeah.
where Jesus went, where he slept,
Yeah,
where he ate. Yeah. She did the whole tour, but all by herself. And there was this one point in the tour towards the end where there was a temple. I don't know the significance of it to Jesus in the Bible, but it was significant. And it was the last thing on her tour. And she was there by herself, and there was a couple. And she remembers standing at the gate, and she looked across the street, and it was an older couple, but totally touristy, like textbook fucking Hawaiian shirt,
Yes.
like tourist, head to toe.
Yeah.
And they were just walking across the street, and in Jerusalem, it's not like the roads here in America. There's just like, it's fucking chaos. There's cars everywhere. There's no intersections. It's fend for yourself.
Define.
Yes.
This is where the pedestrians cross.
Dirt road. You're fending for yourself. We're all in motor vehicles. You could die at any moment. And she remembers looking across the street with her camera and she was like, oh my God, that couple's going to die. Like they began walking across the street so nonchalantly, looking up, looking around, taking pictures. No. But she remembers looking across the street, seeing this couple, and she was like, oh my God, I'm about to watch this couple get run over. And not a fucking scratch. They literally, like Crossy Road style, come across the road unscathed, and they introduce themselves to her, and they're like, oh my gosh, we're doing this tour too. Like, we don't have anyone else. Do you want to do it together?
Are you kidding?
And my nana was like, yeah, like, of course, I'd love to. I'm alone too. I'm solo. So they kind of did their own thing, but they paced together. And it came to a point where they offered to take a picture of her. And it's funny because she's like, I know I should have offered to take a picture of them too. But there's probably a reason why she hadn't. And they, towards the end, there was a temple that they went into, and my nana went in there, or they went in there. They're like, oh, you go do you. We're going in here, but we'll come right back out and we'll meet you before we say goodbye and we can exchange numbers or whatever. Yeah, exactly. And my nana waited and waited and waited like 3-4 hours, and they never came out of the temple. And she went in there and checked, and no one was in there. And there was only one tour to the temple. Yep. So there was that, and then they never came out.
And they weren't in there.
Nope.
She
waited like 3 hours walking around the garden, like waiting for them, because she was like, I wanted their phone number. They were so nice to me. They took a picture of me. Like, she wanted to be friends with this couple, and they were so nice, and like, yeah, we'll come right back out. We're just gonna go look in here. Like, you go do you. Yeah. We'll meet you at this spot.
There's only one way out. They never came out. She went in, and they weren't in there.
Yeah, she waited like an hour, 2 hours, and then she finally went in to check on them, and they weren't there. And she stood around. It's not like she's like, I know I would have seen them. There's one gate out of the entire garden. There's one door into the temple. Yeah. I would have seen them come out. Yeah. But she's like, I swear they're angels. And, she has her reasons. And then,
ooh, okay.
I know, right?
Okay.
And she still has that picture too. She still has yet to find it and show me. But it's a picture that they took of her in Jerusalem.
She can't find it?
It's like in a photo book, like in her garage.
Is it?
Yeah. No. Well, I don't know. She has yet to find it.
If it was ghost interaction or spirit interaction, there's no picture.
Right? Like,
She
what if she can't find it?
she heard the click. She heard
Yes.
all of us.
It was a Polaroid. It was like, and
Back at
yeah.
I would move. You gotta
Right?
follow up on that
I
one.
know. I do need to follow up on it. And then there's a time where very short story, but she was hiking or walking a bike trail, and there was another woman coming her opposite way, and they both stared into each other's eyes, and she's like, it was the most awful, ugly, dark feeling I've ever felt from someone. And she looked at me like she knew I was a Christian, and I knew she was of the other side.
Like to the soul.
To the soul, and
I
she would not stop staring at me until we both got out of view. So that was when she was younger. So the house that she lives at now is, I swear by extremely fucking haunted, and I have multiple stories why. So she lives in like a duplex.
Yeah.
So it's one property, and there's an apartment underneath her that's very small. She has a 2-bedroom, 1 bath. It's very spacious, very light.
Right.
But connected to her from her back door is another door, which leads to another 1-bedroom, 1-bath apartment.
Yeah.
And that apartment has gone through a few different people throughout the years. And one of them specifically was a middle-aged woman. I forget her name, but she was very spiritual. Very spiritual. I would argue a witch.
Okay.
But they didn't get along. And there was a...
Nana didn't get along.
No, my Nana did not get along with her. And my Nana's been there the longest, so her landlord kind of has trusted Nana to kind of be the manager, but she's not officially.
Yeah, but she knows the ropes.
So after this woman had left, they left on a really bad note. I don't know exactly what happened, but
I need to go backwards. Okay, Nana was 40-ish before. Where are we?
Now this is like
60?
10 years ago. 8 years ago.
Yeah.
Not even that long ago.
Okay. So fast forward
quite a bit. Where she's at now. And so this woman who was living in the house right behind her, they didn't get along. When she ended up moving out, it was kind of on a bad foot.
Yeah.
And a week later, she found something in her mailbox. And why my Nana thinks it was her, I'm going to say like her name was like Donna or something.
Yeah, whatever, yeah.
And why she thinks it was her, because she kind of threatened my Nana, like something's going to happen to you. Like almost like verbally jinxed her. And so after that, a couple of weeks went by, and my Nana was going out to check the mail, and she found a bundle of dead weeds in her mailbox. And my Nana just totally threw them away. Like, yeah, she thought it was weird. And she ended up throwing it away, and I was like, Nana.
That was
like,
something.
You know I do fucking witchcraft. Like, I have to tell you, there is something connected to that bundle of dead weeds in your mailbox.
Did she say where she threw them out? Like trash threw out?
Yeah, she just threw them in her green bin. So that happened. And then when I was living there, I woke up in the middle of the night. This is very short, but it was like something that I distinctly remember is like jump scaring awake out of a sleep with my Nana.
Those are the worst. That is like,
yeah.
terrifying.
I physically saw my Nana at the end of my bed with her hands behind her back, leaning over, staring at me. But it wasn't her. It was a mimic. It was 110% a fucking mimic.
Something trying to bait.
Yes.
Is what that was.
Absolutely. And then my boyfriend too, because we weren't allowed to sleep in the same bed, but when he would come down from the town that he lived in and spend the weekend with me, he would sleep on the couch, and sometimes I'd sleep on the couch or whatever. We would just like switch off.
Yeah.
And so he was sleeping on the couch this weekend, and he swears my footsteps coming out from my bedroom and going out of the back door into that second apartment, which was empty at the time. Physically heard the door open and close, and my phone went off because he texted me at like 1 a.m. and was like, where are you going? Like, what are you doing?
Yeah.
Are you sleepwalking? Like, what's happening?
Yeah. And to that degree thought it was actually you.
Yes. Actually thought it was me. And that same night, my Nana heard the same exact thing, but never got up. And we talked about it all the morning.
It wasn't you, obviously.
No, I was like, I was dead asleep.
And your Nana heard the same thing?
She heard the same thing. She was like, oh, I thought maybe like Connor went out because he smoked at the time.
Somebody went out.
Yeah, like maybe he went out to have a smoke or something. He was like, nope, no one left. No one did anything. In that same house, also, she has like a little armoire by her dining room table with a lot of family pictures. And ever since she moved in the house, they move around. It's just known. They just move around. They shift around throughout the night. She'll wake up one day and like picture of her mom and her siblings and whatever will not be in the place where she set them up at.
So that is something I haven't had a lot of experience with. Like when I put something down, I'm not going to say never, but I don't have a lot of experience with things physically moving in my house. So if you ever need some type of validation, like there's always self-doubt.
Mm-hmm.
We were like, oh, did I though? Did I make that like it? Am I interpreting this the right way?
It's human nature.
Yeah. Download a sleep app and it will record everything. Night. So there was one of the nights where I had recently taken one of my grandparents' little armoires, right?
Mm-hmm.
A desk secretary-ish. And I had it previously as like a dry bar. I had my alcohol, my wine glasses, all this stuff in it. I was like, this is a wasted energy. I'm not using it for this at all. So it was an evening where I took everything out, cleaned it off, cleansed it, and started fresh with a witchy vibe. Put all my witchy shit in there, right? And literally that night, I go to bed, and through my bedroom door at the time into the living room was I could see this armoire or this secretary. And in the middle of the night was, do
you hear me? Or can you hear me?
It was something like do you? I honestly don't remember. It was either do you hear me or can you hear me? Repeated like 3 times. It was in my world, code red, lights are fucking on. Like I got up and every light was on in my house. Like what the fuck just happened? It was jolting. It was not my grandfather's voice. It was not. I didn't say anything bad, but it was.
Right.
It was.
It was startling.
It was startling,
and there was knocking too.
And
there was 3 knocks.
Actually, okay, so you guys, oh my god, we were at the same night.
It was. It was literally the same fucking night, Charlene.
It was. That's right. Oh my god. See, how quickly I Oh my god. So it was the same night, and so Annika, it was one of those. It was one of those work days where I came in and I was like,
yes, something fucking happened.
Like I am rattled right now. And Annika's like, hold your fucking sleep app up. And I was like, yes, let's do it. Let's pull it up. We could hear the knocking on the sleep app recorded the knocking. I was like, that's it, fucking moving. No, I'm not kidding.
But it did happen.
But it did happen.
But you did move.
It
So
recorded it.
you did move.
That one rocked me. I will never forget. Like, you know, you forget dreams or things like that. That was.
I think that one was most interesting because it happened after you chose to change the energy of that hutch. Have you ever seen a full body apparition? Or was it more of just a presence or a shadow? Have you ever seen, like, that is no doubt a fucking human being?
Mm-hmm. As an adult, no. As a child, yes.
Really? Mm-hmm. Okay. What was it?
In my child form, where I was just, I think, more.
Your child form?
Where I was more open to just, like, it is what it is. Like, this is just what happened to me every night. There were actual people that I saw.
Really?
Like human forms, ghost-like. And at that point, there was no like movies I could, I wasn't watching movies where I'd be like, oh, this is probably from a movie. Like this was like raw. This is what.
This is what you were seeing.
It was absolutely what I was saying. They were like outlines of human forms. I can say in an adult life, no, they've been more almost like smoke-like. Things. So yeah, adult no, child yes. Yeah. How about you?
Yes, I have. And I have to say, to this day, it was one of the most profound spiritual experience I've had. And there has been I've told you, there's been a constant younger boy energy connected to my mom.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
And I have figured out with help that what seems to stick is it is connected to maybe her first non-born. So, which would have been my sibling, But so to give a little bit of background, I
Your older
would have been my oldest sibling.
Yeah.
So give a little bit of background. There has been a time where, specifically where this energy was very ramped up.
Okay.
And it was when I lived at our first house when we moved out of town from the city that I grew up in.
Uh-huh.
And I was going through a lot of fucking shit. This was like the house where shit went down. Talk about
It
tower
was
moments. Like the
happening.
divorce happened. Yeah, there was a lot of shit.
Like, how old are you? Like, what are we talking?
I was 10, 11, 12.
Yeah.
10, 11, 12.
Yeah.
And I remember specifically seeing a lot of visions in this house. There was a lot of little boys running up and down the hall. It was one specific
boys meaning
one
like,
specific
multiple
little boy.
times, or
No,
there was
one
a-
little boy.
oh, yeah,
It was one little boy.
Yeah.
But he would pace back and forth down the hallway. It was one of those houses where there was one hallway, master bedroom at the end, one bedroom on the other end, and then it like staggered. So it was a 4-bedroom house, and every single door was accessible through the hallway.
Yeah, yeah.
And he would play from one bedroom to the next bedroom to the next bedroom to the next bedroom. And I would hear his footsteps. I would see his shadow peeking around the corner, and he would play with me. Basically, he would kind of want to play this game of cat and mouse.
Like a chase, a cat and mouse.
Yes,
Yeah, yeah.
exactly.
Yeah.
And so I remember specifically seeing that, and that was my first experience making a Ouija board or
Okay,
a spirit board.
can we
Yeah,
back up?
yeah.
On that initial interaction, were you scared at first, or were you like,
Yes.
yeah,
I was scared at first. I was 11 years old, of course. It was fucking terrifying.
what is happening?
I was like, why is there a little ghost? Or what the fuck is that thing?
Yeah.
But it itself wasn't bad. It was very playful. This specific energy has always been very, very playful. But more of like, look at me, look at me.
Like I want
Like I want to be a part of it.
So yeah, yeah.
And I do remember being scared, and then I kind of realized I was seeing something that not everyone else was seeing. And so I kind of kept my mouth shut about it because I remember telling my older brother. Yes. I remember telling my older brother about it, and he just kind of blew it off and was like, "Yeah, you're fucking with me or whatever."
Yeah. Yeah.
I was like, "Okay, whatever." So I just kind of kept it to myself at that point. But yeah, he would show up, play with me down the hall. There was an instance in that house where um I had the landlord at the time came to our front door when we were home alone. My older brother was watching us, and she was there with her son, and they knocked on the door, and I answered it. And she was like immediately shoved a cake into my chest and was like, "I'm so sorry for your loss, your grandpa, and blah 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 blah," and like talking about, "I'm so sorry that your grandpa has passed." And I remember like backing up, yeah, exactly, and looking at my older brother and be like,
Did grandpa pass?
like, "Grandpa's okay, right?" Because he actually lived with us at a time at that house. So he was fine. I was like, "Grandpa's okay, right?"
What?
He was like, "What the fuck is happening?" Went to the door and he was like, "Oh yeah, no, like wrong people. Our grandpa's fine. Like he lives with us." And they're like, "Oh my God, I'm so sorry. Like I'm sorry. Like we're friends with the landlord. We thought you were a different family who lived here, blah, blah, blah." The weird shit about that is a week or a few days before that happened, my brother's girlfriend came into my room when I was just reading or drawing, came into my room and was like, "Did you just say grandpa?" So she heard me screaming grandpa from my room in my voice. And then 2 days later, that lady comes to our door and says, "I'm so sorry for your grandpa." And I remember as soon as we shut the door on her, I ran to my brother's room and Danielle was there. And I was like, "Is like, you heard me say that, didn't you?" And we like kind of put two and two together. And we're like, "What the fuck?"
That's something.
Yeah, so back to the little boy.
Something.
So
Yes,
that
little boy.
happened. So been a lot of activity, and then there was a time where my mom came home late from work,
Yes.
and she saw a shadow of a little boy run in front of her car headlights against the garage door. And pulled in, saw the shadow, and it ran back and forth across the garage door.
Just a shadow. She didn't
Just
see
a
it.
shadow.
Yeah.
So she was like, "Oh my God, like they're fucking
Stop,
with me."
you guys.
Yeah, like
You
stop
guys
you guys. They're
yeah,
fucking
exactly.
with me.
As every mom would
Right.
say, right?
And we're that kind of family where we would definitely do that. So it's not out of the ordinary. She got out of the car, and we always use the garage door. Right? It's one of those houses, you use the garage door, you never use the front door.
Never. I know those houses. We've had.
So she opened the garage door and like went boo and like scared whoever was in there to get them back. And was like, "Oh, like you're gonna scare me, like I'm gonna scare you back."
Yes.
And no one was there. So no one was there. She freaked the fuck out,
Where were you
ran.
guys?
We were just in the living room watching TV. It was probably like 7, 8 p.m. Yeah, my dad, I remember it was me and my dad specifically. I was on the couch. He was standing up just
So
watching
she
TV.
comes in thinking she's going to scare whoever pranked her.
Exactly,
Nobody's
exactly.
there.
No one's there. She comes into the front door and she's like, "Are you guys just trying to scare me? Like, where's Sam?
Yeah,
Sam's in bed." Because my little brother is like 5 years younger than me.
sure.
Sam's in bed. What are you talking about? And she was like, "No fucking way." She ran back to the bedroom and saw that he was fast
So
asleep.
he's in bed.
Was asleep. She came back out, and that's when she started freaking the fuck out and was like,
Somebody just ran. In
I
front of
swear to
my
God,
buildings and
I saw Sam or a little boy run in front of the car when I just pulled up. I thought you guys were trying to scare me, so I went into the garage, told the whole story, and I just kind of got that weird, eerie feeling like I knew who it was because I had seen the little boy already a few times before, but I didn't say anything. And I was like, oh.
The first child that she lost, was it a boy?
We don't know. So, and then I saw another little boy. So this is my full body apparition experience.
Yeah, right.
We were at a trailer home, parents divorced. We lived with my mom and her boyfriend,
Yep.
single wide. So you know the layout.
You know, we
We
know the
know
layout.
the
Yes.
layout. We're
Yep.
playing this game called Shark in the Dark. It's basically hide and go seek tag, but it's in you turn all the lights off.
Okay.
So my little brother and I were pretty close, and we would hide together pretty often.
For sure.
And
Safety in numbers.
safety
sure.
in numbers. And so
Yeah.
whoever was counting was in the master bedroom at the very end of the single wide, and their lights were on. So they were counting. We had X amount of time to find a hiding spot.
That's it. Yeah.
So there was a little bit of a shadow, right? Just from, the lights coming out from under the door or the blinds or whatever.
Yeah.
There's a little bit of light, but it's dark enough to definitely be spooked. So I saw my little brother, I thought was my little brother, walk all the way down the hallway, and my room was at the very end to the right.
So he's walking.
He's walking towards my room.
Yeah.
He's walking, and I come up behind him, right between the crook of his neck, where his shoulder and his head is, and I just kind of leaned over him and said, like, "Where are you hiding? Are you going to my room?"
Because
Yeah,
you guys are.
we would hide. We would team. We would hide
Yes.
together.
Yes.
It's like, "Okay, where are you going? Are you going to my room?"
Yeah.
And he didn't react, and I was like, "That's a little bit weird." And within 2 seconds, my brother, my actual brother, tapped on my shoulder. My brother tapped on my shoulder behind me and was like, "Where are you going?"
Like, because you guys are a team. Holy shit.
So I saw this full body apparition, about the same height as my little brother. He was probably 7 at the time. But I did notice the hair was a little bit weird. Like it was bowl cut. I want to say it was a bowl cut. It literally was like a scary Victorian child. But it was not my little brother, but it was dark.
But
So I was like,
what kind of voice was that?
it was my brother. What else little could be there? And so immediately I kind of paused and I looked at him and I turned around and I was like, what the actual fuck is happening? So my brain's trying to process my little brother's in front of me. How is he now right behind me? And I look back down the hallway and that little boy is still walking and turns right into my bedroom. And then all hell breaks loose. I'm like, turn the fucking lights on.
We're done. Game over.
We're not playing this game anymore.
I am all done.
Yeah, but so that one definitely sticks out to me when it comes to full body apparitions. Like it was not smoky. I couldn't see through him. He was real.
Yeah, I can't say I've ever had that. That's intense.
In that same house, I had my first sleep paralysis. I had my first sleep paralysis.
You?
Yeah, I used to have it a lot. Have you ever had sleep paralysis?
I have. I would have to, like, I know I have. I have to think back to the actual moment. Like, I know I have. Not a lot. Not a lot, but I know I've had it. Where like no, yeah,
I had one experience
I've had it.
that I specifically remember because for me, at least what I believe in, I think you can experience sleep paralysis, but not everything that comes to you is an entity. I do believe sometimes the entities that we see in sleep paralysis are just results of sleep paralysis and we just kind of make them up. But I do believe because of how vulnerable our minds are at that time, we can see things that actually do exist in the astral realm.
Mm-hmm.
basically I had sleep paralysis and it came out from my window and it was like a small creature, almost like a little goblin or something.
Okay. All
But it
right.
had glowing eyes and I could just see kind of like the light that was there shining off its body and it crawled out from my windowsill, past my bed, up the bottom of my bed and up onto my body and sat on my chest and looked at me.
And you couldn't move.
I couldn't move. But it didn't feel like just a shadowy figure. Like it's almost like I knew it was real.
Yeah.
Have you ever entered a house and instantly felt like something wasn't right?
Like, yeah, so many options on this one. I have entered. Oh my God, I don't even know where to start with this one. I will tell you of a couple experiences.
Yes.
So the first one was I was very fortunate growing up that my family wanted to travel. So back when I was 14, 13, 14, we did one of our Germany trips, right? So we traveled over to Europe and did like Germany, Austria, Switzerland. We did a little roundabout, right? Over there. We went into not a pub, I guess it was a pub. I don't know, something.
Yeah.
We walked into the pub and I walked in those front doors and I looked at my mom and I said, I've been here before. Mind you, as a family, as a human experience being this girl, I've never been to
You've
Germany.
never been there.
Yeah. We were in Germany.
I'm pretty sure your mother would know if you went to fucking Germany.
It's like, yeah, no, Charlene, you've never been here. I'm like, fuck, I have. Tell you exactly where everything is. This is a 14-year-old to my mother. I said, the bathroom is back there. This is where the kitchen, like I had, in my mind, I had been here before. And I walked
You
through.
frequented that place enough to know the layout.
I had been there. This was my spot.
What was it called?
I honestly couldn't even tell you.
I wonder if it was one of those places that's just been there forever.
Yeah, no, I walked in there and I instantly turned to my mom and I said, I've been here before.
That's so
She's like,
fucking
"Shaun,
weird.
you've not been here before." I was like, no, I know I have. And I remember telling her that. I've been here before. This is the whole layout of the place. I have been here before. So yes, that might not be exactly with your question, but
No, it is.
um I have moved so many times in my life. It's a running joke with me and the boys because after getting divorced and being a single mom, raising two boys, you're at the mercy of what you can afford and you move around based off of what you can afford. Not only that, what the landlords say. So there's only, I think, been out of the multiple addresses I've had as a single mom, I think there's only like two that I've actually said, I don't want to be here anymore. I'm going to move. It has been, I put so much energy into making it cute, making it homey, making it a home for me and my two boys.
Not just a place you can afford.
Not just a place I can afford, but it's our home that the owners decided to turn around and sell it. So then we have to move. Yeah. So it's 90% been that than me saying, okay, we've outgrown this and we need to move. So for all the times that I have had to walk into somebody else's house for a rental, I just now purchased again after years of renting. You walk into a home and you feel energy.
You do.
And if anybody's ever been home shopping or rental shopping, you know, you walk in and you're like, yeah, no. I have pulled up to houses before and not even gone inside. With a realtor or whoever I'm looking with, I'm like, just keep driving. It's a hard no.
Yeah. It's worth missing this appointment.
I don't even
what
care.
the fuck is going
I don't even go inside. I will not go inside.
Yep.
The energy is no.
Yeah.
So yes,
yeah, me too.
Question,
yeah, I have with the house that my mom is currently getting pushed out from because again the landlords are selling. But I was at a time in my life where I lived with my dad. It was not like, oh, I still live at home. It was like I paid rent. I had my own job. It was like I had an entire section of the house.
You were a contributing adult.
Exactly. I was a contributing adult. But so that happened and my mom, I chose to move out from my mom at the age of 14. because my parents divorced and I didn't want to go back and forth, and there was a lot of shit between us, and it was
Yeah.
like, I'd rather just live with dad. I don't care where the fuck we go.
I get it. I get it.
But this is the house that really made that contributing factor was we walked in and everyone was gonna go pick out their rooms. And I remember it was later at night and everyone was excited. My younger siblings ran down the hall to pick out their room and check it all out. And I just remember immediately getting an extremely heavy feeling in my chest and going straight into the living room and just sitting down on the floor and just shaking my head like, I can't fucking do this. Like something super horrible is going to happen in this house if I live here. Something really bad. And again, that same ex-girlfriend that my brother had, because they were together for a long time, but she was really the only one who understood these feelings.
Yeah.
And she recognized what I was doing and came and sat next to me and asked me what's wrong. Yeah, something's going on. What's happening?
Yeah.
And I just looked at her and I was like, something so fucking horrible is gonna happen if I live here. And I decided, obviously that night. And I told my mom immediately. I couldn't even wait. I was like, I'm not living here. I'm gonna live with dad full time. And she immediately, freaked out, started crying, and it was the whole deal. But to this day, I still think something really bad would have happened. Even considering just what's happened with them in that house. I think something
So,
could have
okay,
happened.
let's, if we can take another little
Yes.
tangent, the energy of that specific knowledge, the specific awareness of something is about to happen.
Yeah.
Like, how potentially would you empower somebody to embrace that? Like, how does somebody tune into that? Like, I believe in that spirit, that energy.
Like listening to your gut or your intuition.
It's all of
Everything, yeah.
So
Instead of just naturally being like, oh, I'm just overthinking something. Right?
yes, we get goosebumps over our body for a reason.
We do. With
The
our
spirits
amygdala.
intervene for a reason. That whatever it is, whatever you want to call it, like how can we empower people to empower the listeners to be like, okay, yes, I I hear you, but I'm not just going to hear you. I'm going to act on this information. That's a two-step process that I
It
don't
is.
think everybody takes.
I can tell you what I did. What
Okay.
I did was I became very in tune and aware of what I felt like at baseline.
Okay.
Before I started astral
Okay.
traveling, before I started meditating, and obviously it's confusing if you're already sensitive to these things, but you have to know what you feel like at baseline in order to pick apart what's new that's coming in.
You girl, you were talking about a self-awareness level. You like the fact that you're fucking 20 something like just blows
Like,
my mind. Like
but it's true. You have
it
to
took me
know
so long.
what
I
your vibration feels
kudos,
like.
good for you.
It's a result of a lot of trauma.
I just showed me what a spoiled soul you are. Like it took me so long to fucking get to that point.
But you're here.
Fair enough.
You're fucking here.
Like I got here.
Yes.
So how like that's the gift. Like if people are willing to listen to other people, they can speed up this process and not have to
Yes.
delay it because
Exactly.
they're like, I hear you.
Yep.
Okay, this is what I need to listen to. I'm going to learn and I'm going to incorporate it into my own world and thus become stronger.
Yeah.
That is such a big leap on
It is. When it comes to self-awareness and I think mindfulness, and if you can, I know it's so like people are like, oh my God, I hate meditating. I hate sitting here in silence. And it's not sitting here in silence. It's recognizing you are a vessel and things move through you.
Can I
And
do a side tangent?
yes,
I have struggled with meditating because I thought it was a very textbook description of what meditating was. Once I let go of that and found that meditating came when I was gardening, when I was like, it comes in so many different forms. It's not the crisscross applesauce, put your palms up to the
exactly.
universe
Yep.
and you're meditating. That's not how
It's not it.
it can be.
Right.
Good for you if
Yes.
that is. And that's not what it looks like for me. It comes in
Right.
very so once I released the textbook form of what I thought it would be,
Yeah.
it
Well, that comes with all
yeah.
things in life. We
Right.
want to put everything in a box anyway.
Yeah.
But when it comes to meditating specifically, I talked about a little bit in my brainwave episode, and it really is that. It's
Mhm.
different stages and it's different brainwave
Mhm.
cycles.
Mhm.
But I think it's that first amount of self-awareness and then recognizing, which I'm not gonna lie and say, oh my God, it's so easy. Like it obviously is hard. You have to sit there and you have to go through every single part of your body and realize what you feel like, and then it becomes easy. That is the easy part, is once you do the hard part, when spirits and communication starts to come in, you already know this isn't me. I know this isn't me.
Then you can
And then
recognize.
you can recognize this as something else coming in and telling me something.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's
But
really hard.
it's a lot of fucking work.
So say like,
And it's never ending. I'm not saying I'm perfect. It's never ending.
listen, that's the beauty of it.
Yeah.
Boring
It's fun.
if you like conquered everything at 25, you're like, yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
Like,
What's the
I figured
point?
everything. Like, what's the point? What's the point? Like the evolution of knowledge and spiritual awareness and the whole process for whatever you're going to be, whether you figured it out or not, and you
Yeah.
have to repeat or whatever, wherever you are in the journey of the physical presence of our bodies. Like how beautiful,
I know. It
how
really is.
amazing is the process.
I'm really curious to see if you have experienced ghosts with any sort of divination. Have you tried to communicate with ghosts through any sort of divination source, whether it be pendulum, cards, spirit boards?
Spirit boards, no. Pendulum, no. Although I have a pendulum. I am, the only time I can say I actually got motivated to use it was what just fucking happened the last couple of weeks with us.
Okay.
The last week. I definitely use it for my Patreon group. Like I
Mm-hmm.
pull a card for whatever spirit energy I think we should be working with for the next upcoming month.
Mm-hmm.
On the level you're talking about, probably not. No, no.
I have once. It's pretty scary.
Okay, what'd you do?
So one time I made a homemade Ouija board at the house I was talking about where I saw the little boy throughout the hallway.
Mhm.
And during that time that I had the homemade talking board, there was so much fucking fighting in that house. Like, it was pretty fucking bad.
Like your general day in and day out.
Day in and day out, would not stop. And all of a sudden, my older brother said, it's probably that fucking Ouija board you made. And I was like,
Mhm.
like, kind of realized, I was like, I think you're right. And so,
No,
mm-hmm. Obviously, I have more experience now, and I respect talking boards and Ouija boards now more than I did when I was
but
younger, but it's just what happened. And so I had the homemade Ouija board, and when I tell you homemade, it was like cardboard, like it was like post paper, like the thicker paper that you use for like school projects, right?
for sure, yeah, I know, I'm with
It wasn't just paper, but it was still paper.
you. Yeah, sure.
And so we took it outside into the front. He was like, I'm gonna fucking burn that thing. And he took a
Your brother
blowtorch.
said he's
Yes.
gonna burn that thing
He took a blowtorch to it, Charlene, and there was a black hole that burnt into the middle of the fucking board and it did not burn.
because he was pissed off, thinking that this specific board was bringing back on it.
A Ouija board made of paper would not burn.
Paper. You can't make this.
I can't make that shit up.
You can't
That
make
was
this
like intense. Even if you ask him today, he's not a big
Yeah.
witchcraft or whatever person, but he's definitely not religious. And he's like, yeah, that shit was fucking fucked. I tried to burn it and it would not burn. And then I had another experience with my cousin that I was really close with, and we would ghost hunt all the time. It was kind of our thing. Like, we really liked it. We liked
Yeah.
watching Ghost Adventures and all that stuff. And we had an actual Ouija board. She did. She owned one because I wasn't allowed to have one. That's why I made one.
Clearly. Yeah.
Clearly.
Yeah.
And so when I would spend the night at her house over the weekends, we would play with it. And there was one specific weekend where we had the neighbor kid over, and we all three sat in a circle. We lit candles, and we were trying to speak to her dad, which was my uncle, my great uncle, so my nana's brother. And so we were trying to communicate with him. And we asked all these questions, and it kind of seemed right, but then she kind of looked at me, and I was like, Frankie, ask it something that only you know. That only you know.
Yes.
And you know about your dad. And then we can differentiate if it's real or not. And it did not answer the question correctly.
It didn't?
No. It answered everything else. There was like 3 beginning questions, right? And it was like, okay, when did you die? When did this happen or when did that happen? And I kind of started to look around the room and there was like, okay, there's a picture there of Uncle Frank with her when she was 3. It could obviously read that. There was a picture there and there was a photo book here. Ask it something truly only you know. There's no proof
No,
around the
no
house.
full stuff.
No physical proof. And it answered it wrong. And we all got fucking so scared because it answered it wrong. And we are like, yeah, you're not actually Frank. You're not actually Uncle Frank. And it started saying some like crazy ass shit, like you're gonna die and like I'm gonna get you and like stuff like that.
I'm like, no,
And we're like, yeah, no, we're not fucking playing with you. But that was the last time I used a spirit board.
ever?
For
You've never gone back?
because I've never owned one. I wouldn't be afraid, but I've never owned one since.
I'm gonna say one of my friends, long-term friends, asked about a Ouija board, and I was like, "What are you talking about?"
Really?
Yeah, I'm like, no, like I have no interest in it. Like, there's no desire for me to even use that as a form of communication. I mean, I get it when people, but I don't know. Like, he was like, "Well, court." I'm like, no, I like for me, zero interest in using that.
That's so interesting. I think there's a lot of stigma around it.
It could be my age too.
Yeah, I remember my dad told me a story when he was little. Lights fell, doors were shutting. Him and his 2 sisters were playing with one, and it was a bad experience. But and he always told me like never use one because this is what happened to me. But
No, I've never even used one. I have no experience with them at all. No,
at all,
no. I just have no. Like it just seems so commercial
it does. To
for
be
me.
fair,
Yeah, for
right?
me, it seems super
Like
commercial.
Hasbro bought it, and
Literally,
like
yeah, it's not my avenue for communication.
yeah.
That can have some power. I certainly don't dismiss if people have found some guidance with it.
Mhm.
I personally have never tapped into it ever, ever. I've never. I don't even know as a kid if I've ever used a Ouija board.
Really?
There's no. I don't even have any draw to it. It's not funny.
That's pretty fair though.
Yeah,
I feel like it was a pretty big thing though for a little while.
I know it was, and especially back in the. I like my
Like when
generation.
it first came out.
My generation should be tapped into it.
Yes.
I could give a rat's ass.
That's so interesting.
I don't know
Now,
why.
as a witch, would you use it?
I have no desire. As like current practice,
Yeah, no.
there's other mediums I would use to connect with some guidance and some direction.
Yeah.
Ouija board, I
Yeah.
don't have any calling to it. Zero.
I mean, that's pretty fair.
Yeah.
Okay.
I like just honestly God, I just have no desire.
Yeah, I think it's more of like an exciting thing that we did.
Mm-hmm.
And then we kind of learned pretty quickly, like, this is an actual tool. Like, this can very well be abused if we don't use it correctly
Is
with the
this
right
real?
amount of respect.
Have people
I
gotten
think
real
it is.
readings from it?
I do. I think it is possible to use as a real tool.
I think
It's like a pendulum,
okay.
right?
It's
Like you
gonna
can't
highly
promise.
depend on you. Yeah, it's
You
gonna
can't.
highly depend on who is using it and who is the base.
Yes, you
Who's the
can't. You
core
can't promise that
energy.
the other person with their hand on the planchette isn't moving it.
Serious.
You can't. But it's same with a pendulum. You can't promise that your instilled energy wanting a certain answer is already making the pendulum fucking move in your desire.
That's fair. Mm.
I have to say my perspective has changed on it. I used to think it was complete fucking bullshit. But I think it depends on how you use it. But it's hard to say.
I'm might still be the bullshit. I might still be the bullshit lane. Like I'm Ouija board.
That's
Like
fair. I mean,
it's
that's
not.
fair.
That is not my medium at all.
Hmm.
I can tell you that.
What's the most like comfortable divination tool, I guess, that you're comfortable with?
For me, it is my tarot and my oracle deck. Like I can say without a doubt, and I can't like keep running decks in because
Yeah.
I'm so like nervous about. Oh my god, do they understand me? Like my Crow tarot deck, which you referred me to buy
Mm-hmm.
the Animal Oracle deck, and I've gotten more decks since then. Um, and those guys know me, they know my voice. If I ask a question, or if Taylor O'Connor asks a question, or if I ask a question, I am fully convinced the answer is legit.
Yeah.
Like we have all bonded with these decks to where I trust the guidance. Other divination, what do you?
You find your deck for sure. And I'm glad you say that because
Everybody finds their deck.
if I'm honest, I had like 10 decks at one point, and like 6 of them were tarot decks, and like the rest were oracle decks. And I would use 2. I had
You
a lot.
have your favorites.
I had a lot, but I
Yeah.
used 2.
Yeah.
I used one as my main, and I used another one as a Cloudfire deck.
Okay. Okay, but like,
Yeah.
look,
But
okay.
honestly, when it comes down to it, I got rid of them all. So my mother
Oh my God, you guys.
was like actually
down.
actually possessed, like conjuring shit. I'm not even kidding. Obviously, I wasn't alive, but I've heard this from both my grandpa,
Like
my mother, my uncle, and my grandma. So when she was about 2 or 3 years old, mostly 3, my family was born and raised in Huntington Beach. I think they lived in Irvine at the time. And so they all moved into a brand new house. She was 3 years old, and she ended up getting possessed, like literally possessed by someone named Jessie. And why I say this is because she would not go by any other name besides Jessie. She would play out in the backyard, in the front yard, when my mom would call her in. I'm not Marina. I'm Jessie.
So here's your mom as a young kid, all of a sudden declaring that she is not who her birthright name is. She is
Jessie.
Jess.
She is Jessie. My uncle, her older brother.
Like, give us a time frame. Like, how old is she here?
3. She's 3 years old. So she was born in 76.
Okay.
76. So almost 80s.
Mm-hmm.
Almost the 80s, and she was completely possessed, overtaken by the spirit, where she would only go by the name Jessie. And within that same time frame, my grandmother, her mother, owned finches.
Yeah.
And they immediately fucking died when they entered the house. Immediately died. They had an avocado tree, they had a citrus tree, they fucking died. Like everything in the house that could possibly be alive was dead within a month. Like textbook conjuring shit.
Not good. That's not good entry. Okay.
Not good. And she would talk to herself. She would look around the room, textbook everything. What the fuck is happening? And I remember my Uncle Mylan, he told me that he would go into the house and be like, Marina's not coming in. Marina doesn't want to come in. Marina doesn't want to come in. And my nana would go out there, or my grandpa would go out there and be like, Marina, like, come inside, come inside. Nope, I'm not Marina. I'm Jessie. I'm Jessie. And she would scream and cry and throw a tantrum.
I am not Marina. I am Jessie.
I am Jessie. Call me Jessie. And she doesn't remember any of this, but
who's telling you these stories?
My nana and my grandpa and my uncle. And obviously she kind of recalled some of it, but she's like, I really didn't really remember. Yeah. And so we all talked about it, and she ended up coming inside that one day, and I think within that same week they had like a house party, block party. It was really popular back then. And everyone came over. And she was 3 years old. She was taking an afternoon nap, and one of my grandpa's friends walked down the hallway to go use the restroom, and he checked in on the baby, which was my mom at the time. And he recalled looking into the room, and she completely sat up, like a fucking vampire, like literally sat up from a plank position, sleeping state, and would look into the corner of the room, and it was started talking to nothing that was there. And she again refused to go by Marina. She only went by Jessie, and she talked to someone named Jessie. And it got so bad to the point where my nana went across the neighborhood and kind of asked around, hey, what do you know anything maybe that happened before? My nana was religious, obviously, at the time, and she brought over a Catholic. I think it was a Catholic or Christian priest. I know she has always been Christian, but I think she brought over a Catholic priest and they did the whole exorcism thing. Nothing worked. She asked around the neighborhood, and one of the neighbors did reveal that there was an event that happened about 5 or 10 years before where there was another block party at that house, and one of the neighbors came over and had violated and murdered one of the little girls in the house, and his name was Jesse.
Hold on. So we were in current time back in the 70s,
Almost 80s.
80s, or end of the 70s.
Mm-hmm.
Your mom is a child.
Mm-hmm.
Your grandmother
Mm-hmm.
is a child. Your grandmother's a child in this home, and
No, my mom's a child. My grandmother's a young
it's your
mom.
mom. Your
Yeah,
mom
my
is a
mom.
child. Okay, so your mom is a child in this home in the 70s.
Yep.
And there is a block party.
Several years before when my mom is saying her name is Jessie.
Mhm.
And so my Nana takes it upon herself to ask around. And that's when she finds
Who
out.
is this Jessie?
Who is Jessie? Do you have any idea what has happened in this house
Yeah.
before?
Yeah.
Because they already had an exorcism, nothing fucking worked, and they're literally about to move. Like, they're like, this is our last straw. What the fuck happened here? And that's when a neighbor revealed that there was a block party several years before they moved in, and a young man came to that house where a family was living at the time with 2 young girls.
Okay.
And he violated and murdered one of the young girls and ran from the scene
Right.
where my mom had seen like blood coming down the street.
And this was potentially who was the guy who
Oh, his name was Jesse.
Jesse. So Jess did this.
Jesse did this several years before they moved in, and he possessed my mom and said Jesse. So she said, oh, I'm not Marina, I'm Jesse. Yeah. And then years later, obviously, I want to say probably 8-10 years ago, I was visiting my cousin down there who still lives there, and we are like, no, like take us by the house, like take us by the house where it happened at.
Yeah.
And we all drove by there, and I shit you not, a fucking black cat, and I love cats, but a black cat literally crossed the street and went over the fence into the yard of the house that it happened at.
Right in front of your eyes.
Right in front of our eyes. So yeah, that shit
So
fucking
where
happened.
are you with this then?
But yeah, so that happened. My mom is definitely most in tune. She has seen dreams and visitations by her grandmother, her husband's sister who recently passed, her dad.
Mm-hmm.
She's always grown up with premonitions. She had a premonition when she was younger with her older brother. She only has one sibling, her older brother, my uncle.
Yeah.
That he would get in a car accident because he stole the family car, and he did that night. She just kind of woke up from a dead sleep and ran to my nana's room and was like, something really bad is gonna happen. Like, where's Mylan? So that is something that I am thankful for. Like, even though maybe not everyone in my family agrees with my practice necessarily, but when it comes to being aware of other senses,
Yeah.
it's full support. I understand. Like, what can we do?
That's good.
It is good.
Okay, guys. Well, I think this is a pretty good spot to wrap things up. And thank you so much if you actually made it to the end. I always have so much fun with Charlene. So, shout out and thank you to her also for joining me again. I know this one is a lot longer than usual, but I hope you had a chance to grab some snacks or a drink and just relax and listen as we brought back some spooky spirit, even though we are heading towards spring and honestly just being goofy and going on a few tangents. Well, at least I hope my editing kind of helped with making this thick episode more palatable. Thank you again. I hope you all enjoyed. Until next time, have a wonderful morning, day, or night.